Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, this morning, Sir David Amess's family and their lawyer have held a public meeting to let us know what is happening with Labour and their request for a public inquiry into the murder of Sir David Amess. Guys, this is a damning indictment on Home Secretary Yvette and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. And in my opinion, I think this will cost Yvette any chance of a future Labour leadership. Thought she was a shoo-in for the leadership, but this has exposed everything. So guys, I just want you to hear for yourself, and I'll leave links in the description down below for the full conversation. But this was the comments, or these are the comments of the lawyer for the David Amess family into their interactions with the government. Guys, this really is shocking.
There are widespread problems with the PREVENT program, we believe. And so we are very clear that not only does there need to be an inquiry into the events to Sir David's death and how Ali Harbi Ali was even on the streets when he was known to be an extreme terrorist, but also with the wider PREVENT program as well. Since 2017, I've been able to count 11 PREVENT-related murders.
So, since 2017, there have been 11 murders that have been linked with PREVENT. And what I think the lawyer is saying is that these murderers were linked to PREVENT, had been through the PREVENT system, were being watched by PREVENT, or had been released and were no longer watched by PREVENT. But 11 murders since 2017 could possibly have been prevented. That is scary.
It just isn't working. It does not appear to be fit for purpose. On Wednesday, this Wednesday, the 12th of March, the Prime Minister and the Home Secretary have invited the family and their advisors to a meeting, which we will be attending at 10 Downing Street. But the Home Secretary has now issued a letter to the family in advance of that meeting to say that they're not going to get their answers. That's what the letter says. The letter says that they've had their criminal trial, that there have been paper reviews, and frankly, that's good enough for you, Amess family, and you should frankly just move on. We also firmly believe that had there been an inquiry after Sir David's murder, as the family had been calling for, that the tragic attacks in Southport last year would not have happened. So the Amess family very clearly today are linking the murder of Sir David to the murder of those beautiful children in Southport.
Did you hear that? So the Amess family, they wanted an inquiry. Was it 3 years ago when Sir David Amess was murdered? And that was refused. It wasn't by this current government, it was the previous government. But what they're saying is that they absolutely believe that there's a correlation, there is a link between the murder of the 3 young girls by Axel Cabana with the murder of Sir David Amess by Ali Harbi Ali. So this is serious. This is really, really serious. So we are beginning to unravel all of these webs of deceit that are being thrown up in front of our face. So the Amess family have been for all this time calling for an inquiry, and at every juncture, at every avenue, they've had doors slammed in their face. What is this government? What is the previous government? What are security? What are they scared that we will find out? What? And what makes things worse is that because we've not had these inquiries, we've not had recommendations, we've not had areas of where things are wrong being able to be put right, more and more innocent people are losing their lives. How many more? How many more are going to lose their lives?
Clearly today are linking the murder of Sir David to the murder of those beautiful children in Southport.
Just remember that. The Amess family believe that there is a direct link between the murder of Sir David Amess and the murder of the 3 young girls in Southport because of the failures of agencies like Prevent.
We are unequivocal about that. But what the family were told after Sir David's death and after these paper reviews, that lessons had been learned.
So the family were told that lessons had been learned. So Amess was murdered by, was it Ali Harbi Ali? And few years later, we had the Southport murders by Axel Rudakabana. Can anyone tell me what lessons have been learned?
And improvements were made. The family didn't believe that at the time. And when we all watched in horror last summer at what happened in Southport, clearly lessons had not been learned and improvements had not been made.
And sorry, I should have said this earlier. This lady here is the wonderful daughter of Sir David Amess. And later on in this piece, which I'll probably cover later on at some other time, she made an impassioned plea for there to be justice for her father. Absolutely brought me to tears. It's shocking what is going on. And going on right in front of our faces. It's shocking.
Ali Harbi Ali was in the Prevent program, and so was Axel Rudakabana, and they were both allowed to carry on and do the terrible things that they did. Ali Harbi Ali was in the Prevent program, and so was Axel Rudakabana, and they were both allowed to carry on and do the terrible things that they did.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Axel Rudakabana, Ali Harbi Ali, both in the Prevent program and both allowed to do the horrendous things that they did.
The letter from the Home Secretary, and I don't mean any disrespect. It is a poor letter. It's probably drafted by lawyers and officials, and it doesn't hold water.
So the letter sent to them by the Home Secretary was a poor letter. Probably doesn't hold water.
As I say, it basically just asked the family to accept that the criminal trial and the paper reviews are enough. They have a number of questions, as clearly the rest of us do. That's why you guys in the media, that's why I'm here, because we're supporting this family to get the answers that they still have. So for Yvette Cooper to write, frankly, what is a fairly demeaning and insulting letter to this amazing family, to say, you're not going to get an inquiry, will not do. And we will be going to Downing Street to meet Sir Keir and Yvette Cooper and to ask them to reconsider. And I'll be putting out a statement shortly, going through the reasons why we think they have got it so badly wrong.
They've got it so badly wrong. And I've said this for years and years. We are human beings. We are human beings. But it seems that government agencies, people in government, politicians, do not see us as human beings. They see us as potentially useful, at times, vessels. That's all we are. We're not really human beings to them. We are expendable. We're expendable vessels. And as he said, you got your trial, you got your verdict, move on. Oh my goodness.
As I say, after all this time, this family still do not have the answers as to why Sir David, who went out into his constituency to his surgery to help people that day, as to why Ali Harbi Ali was allowed anywhere near him. And let me just conclude by playing a clip that we have from Sir Keir Starmer, who was leader of the opposition at the time. And this is the day of Sir David's death. And I'll hold this up because, as you'll see, he himself says that there are questions to answer. So can everybody see that if I hold it there, or should I stand up? Or stand up.
So guys, this would be another example of two-faced, two-tier Keir Starmer. He'll say anything to anyone to get what he wants.
My heart goes out to Sir David's wife, to his children, his wider family, his staff, and all of his friends and colleagues. Today is a dark and a shocking day, the more so because, heartbreakingly, we've been here before.
This just seems like a prescribed, prescripted script that Starmer has reeled out on every occasion. You know, when he's shocking, the way he says shocking, all that sort of stuff, we've been here before. Starmer really doesn't care about any of us. He really doesn't.
Informed by his faith, Sir David had a profound sense of public duty, and he was highly respected and much liked across the Houses of Parliament on all sides and within the Christian community. We now have to come together in response to this horrendous act and show that violence, intimidation and threats will never prevail over the tireless work of public servants like David, simply doing his job. He was much respected. He had that profound sense of duty. He was driven by his faith, and that's why across the parties, across Parliament, he was so respected and so liked. And there's a very profound sense of loss, I think, across politics, across faith, and up and down the country. Well, there are many questions, I think, that are still there, but I think today is a day when all of our thoughts and all of our focus are with Sir David's family, and there are questions for other days, but today our thoughts, our prayers, our focus is on them.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one.
So there you heard the words of Sir Keir Starmer himself. 15th of October 2021. There are questions that have still to be answered.
Questions need to be answered.
He said it twice in that interview. Well, those questions that need answering still need answering today. And Sir Keir, we're coming to see you on Wednesday. Please reconsider the government's position. And please hear us when we come to you and say that there must be a public inquiry so that this family can have the answers that they so desperately need. Thank you.
So guys, that is such a shocking indictment into what Keir Starmer, Yvette Cooper really think about the British citizens and our safety. They're not prepared to have any sort of inquiry into what has gone tragically wrong on too many occasions. So you've had Southport not so long ago. Then we had the murder of Sir David Amess, October the 15th, 2021. And in between, there have been many other preventable incidences that really all need to be looked into and all need to be addressed. And we need to find out reasons and we need to find out ways to prevent these from happening in the future. But it looks like the government said, you got your trial, you got your conviction, let it go, move on. But as you saw in those pictures, his daughter, she can't move on. She's in tears, absolutely distraught, life in ruins because of what happened, which was possibly preventable. My goodness, do they not care about us? Do they not care about the people? Guys, let me know down here in the comments section. I'm absolutely staggered. I've been watching it sort of back and forth on my phone this morning, I just thought I just had to talk about this, because unless we get answers, it will continue and it will keep carrying on, and more lives will be lost when they could have been prevented. So guys, let me know in the comment section what you think, but make certain you look after yourselves, you look after each other, and please stay safe.